The value that you should be taking away is up to 49% of a company can be given away to make the 51% worth more. Understanding this principle unlocks the door to the unlimited expansion of your business. Today, I'm going to take you into a strategy that is going to knock your socks off. I'm going to introduce you to a fellow whose name you probably already know. Most people know him as John D. Rockefeller, and many people know him as the founder of Standard Oil. When John D. Rockefeller built his fortune, he controlled 1.5 to 2% of the US economy. He is the all-time grand master of building phenomenal enterprise businesses. And the interesting thing is some of his best stuff has been forgotten. And we're going to resurrect some of it here today. The thing that John D. Rockefeller taught entrepreneurs is control is more important than ownership. And control is the key to building and developing enterprise businesses. And what John D. Rockefeller did is he learned how to maintain this phenomenal control of a tremendous enterprise because he learned to leverage entities by serializing successive 51% ownerships. And I'm going to show you what he did. So here's what he did. He founded Standard Oil, and he made sure that his ownership never went below 51% of Standard Oil. So that was his key in his mind. As long as I own 51%, I own control. Okay. So it meant that he could give away 49% of the company to other people who could bring value to the company. But as long as he made 51%, then he was leveraging his ownership not only to what he had, but to what he could get brought into his company by giving away 49% of it. When it came time to take more control of more stuff, he would form another entity and he would give away 49% of that, but 51% of it was always owned by Standard Oil. So his 51% of Standard Oil controlled Standard Oil, but it also controlled 51% of the next company that he formed and gave away 49% of that to all the folks who could bring resources and money and assets into the company. And that's what he would do. So as soon as he gave away up to 49%, he'd form another company that he owned 100% of, and then gave away more and more and more of it until he only owned 51%. But you see, he still owned control. He owns control of Standard Oil and the next company and the next company. And he kept doing this time after time, never giving away more than 49% of any company, having companies, where his 51% always maintained control of his entire empire. So all this time, he's building up all these companies underneath Standard Oil, and he owns control of them, giving away all the values to other people, but never giving away that 51%. Okay, so hopefully you got this. That was his structure right there. This was so successful, it was made illegal. He took over such a big portion of the country's commerce at that time with the key fundamental industry of energy that everybody was afraid of him because he was monopolizing the entire fuel industry. And the only way they could see to stop him was to make this practice that he was using to gain control, this practice of entity serialization of his 51%, that they made it illegal. Congress actually passed the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 to make this that you're seeing in front of you illegal. And then it finally got to the Supreme Court in a case against him, and Standard Oil lost. It was called Standard Oil Company versus the United States. It was in 1911, and they broke up the Standard Oil Company into 34 separate competing companies so that they broke up this 51% of 51% structure that he had put together. And the irony is, 88 years later, a lot of these got recombined as ExxonMobil in 1999. Now, what do you think happened 88 years later? Nobody was around that was afraid of him anymore, right? And so it got forgotten what the legislation was. Intervening pieces of legislation got enacted that watered down the things that made his original system illegal. And by 1999, there was no resistance to monopolies in this anymore because the world of competition was so broad. And that enabled ExxonMobil to basically put a lot of this back together in 1999. The reason I'm sharing this with you is Rockefeller's strategy can be safely used today. The fact that it was made illegal by the Sherman Antitrust Act is long since forgotten. And the real key to it is you just don't completely dominate the market of a major economic sector. As long as you don't do that with it, you're safe. Okay. So you can't carry this out to the extreme because the Congress of the United States will come get you. Okay. The Department of Commerce will come get you by trying to reapply some of those, what are now ancient antitrust laws. But as long as you don't go there to that level, you are totally safe using the structure to build out your companies. And the value that you should be taking away is up to 49% of a company can be given away to make the 51% worth more. Understanding this principle unlocks the door to the unlimited expansion of your business.
Now, if any of this makes sense to you, what I'd like to encourage you to do is to contact our team, because we have a program where we will literally do all of this for you. So you don't have to think it through on your own. You don't have to go through all the steps and the methods. What we will do is we will actually get it done for you. So if this makes sense, just go to the description below this video and follow the instructions. It'll put you in touch with one of our team members. And from there on, we'll answer your questions and hopefully we'll work together as partners and we'll get it done for you.